You're doing everything right, or at least you think you are. You've cut back on sugar, you're eating more vegetables than you ever have in your life. You even walk 3 times a week like your doctor told you to. And yet, that stubborn belly fat won't budge. In fact, some mornings it feels like it's growing, no matter how good you've been. You stand sideways in the mirror, pull your shirt up just enough to see, and there it is, soft, resistant, like a part of you that refuses to cooperate. And the worst part? You don't just see it. You feel it. The way your waistband digs in by 3 p.m. The way bending over to tie your shoes takes a little more effort than it used to. The way you catch your breath after climbing a single flight of stairs, wondering, when did this start happening? Here's what nobody tells you after 50. It was never really about the diet. Not the way you've been led to believe. Because if you're like most people in their 50s, 60s, or 70s, you've been chasing the wrong problem this whole time. You've been told to eat less, move more, count calories, drink green juice, all while your body has been quietly shifting into a different mode of operation, one that doesn't respond to the old rules anymore. And the longer you follow those rules, the more frustrated you get. Because deep down, you know something isn't adding up. Your body isn't broken. It's not defying you out of spite. It's just operating under a set of instructions you never got the memo about. Let me ask you this. Have you ever noticed that the fat around your middle isn't just there? It's active. It's like it has a mind of its own. Some days it feels puffy, almost swollen, like you've suddenly gained 5 pounds overnight. Other days it's firm, almost hard to the touch, like there's something underneath it all, pushing outward. And no matter how many crunches you do or how much kale you force down, it doesn't shrink the way it used to. That's not a coincidence. That's your body sending you a signal, one that most people misread for years before they finally understand what's really going on. Here's the truth. After 50, your belly fat isn't just stored energy. It's a storage unit, and not the kind you rent for old holiday decorations. It's a biological vault where your body stashes things it doesn't know what to do with. Toxins it can't process, hormones it can't balance, inflammation it can't resolve. And the more of those things your body collects, the more it holds on to that fat. Because here's the part that will change everything for you. Your body isn't trying to keep you overweight. It's trying to protect you. That belly fat, it's not the enemy. It's the evidence. Evidence that something deeper is out of balance, and your body is doing the only thing it knows how to do, contain the problem. Think of it like this. Imagine your body is a house, and your belly fat is the basement. For decades, that basement was just extra space. Maybe you stored a few boxes down there, maybe some old furniture, but it was mostly empty. Then slowly, things started to change. The plumbing got a little rusty, the electrical system started flickering, the foundation developed a few cracks. And instead of fixing those issues, your body did what any responsible homeowner would do. It started moving things into the basement, not because it wanted to clutter up the space, but because it was the safest place to put everything while it tried to keep the rest of the house running. The problem isn't the stuff in the basement. The problem is why it's there in the first place. And that's where most people get it wrong. They focus on emptying the basement, dieting, exercising, trying to force the fat away without ever asking why their body felt the need to store it there. They treat the symptom, not the cause. And because of that, the basement just keeps filling up again. Sound familiar? You've probably tried cutting carbs, or doing intermittent fasting, or drinking apple cider vinegar every morning. Maybe you lost a few pounds at first, felt a flicker of hope, only to watch the scale creep back up, or worse, to realize that even though the number went down, your belly didn't. That's because those approaches don't address the real question. What is your body trying to protect you from? Let me tell you about a patient of mine. I'll call her Linda. Linda came to me at 62, exhausted and defeated. She'd been a runner her whole life, but in the last 5 years, her body had betrayed her. She'd gained 20 pounds, all in her midsection, despite running more than ever. She'd cut out gluten, dairy, sugar, you name it. Her doctor told her it was just aging, that her metabolism had slowed down, that she should accept it. But Linda knew something was off. She wasn't sleeping through the night, her joints ached, she'd wake up with her heart pounding for no reason. And her belly, it wasn't just fat, it was hard, like there was a bowling ball sitting under her skin. When we ran tests, we found something surprising. Linda's body wasn't just storing fat, it was storing stress, years of it. Her cortisol levels were through the roof, not because she was stressed out in the way we usually think of it, but because her body had been running on high alert for so long, it didn't know how to turn off. Her adrenals were exhausted, her liver was overwhelmed, and her belly, it was the warehouse where all of it was being kept safe. Here's what most people don't realize. After 50, your body starts prioritizing survival over aesthetics. It's not vain, it's practical. And one of the biggest survival threats it faces isn't what you eat, It's how your body handles what you eat. Your digestion slows, your liver gets sluggish, your hormones shift, and all of those changes send a signal to your body. Hold on to this. We might need it later. That's why you can eat the same as your spouse and gain weight while they don't.
It's why you can exercise more than your friend and still have a softer middle. It's not fair, but it's not random either. It's your body following a script it's been writing for decades, and if you don't learn to read that script, you'll keep fighting a battle you were never meant to win. Now, here's where it gets interesting, because there's one system in your body that controls all of this, the master switch that decides whether your food gets burned as energy or stored as fat, whether your hormones stay balanced or go haywire, whether your inflammation stays low or rages out of control. And here's the kicker. Most people have never even heard of it. It's not your thyroid. It's not your metabolism. It's not even your gut, though that's part of it. It's your lymphatic system, the silent, invisible network that acts like your body's sewage treatment plant. When it's working, it flushes out toxins, balances fluids, and keeps everything running smoothly. When it's not, that's when the basement starts filling up. That's when the belly fat becomes stubborn. That's when you feel puffy, sluggish, and like no matter what you do, your body just won't cooperate. Picture this. Your lymphatic system is like a series of tiny rivers running through your body. When you're young, those rivers flow freely. Waste gets carried away. Nutrients get delivered. Everything hums along. But after 50, those rivers start to slow. The banks get clogged with debris. The water gets stagnant. And instead of flushing things out, your body starts storing them. First in your tissues, then in your fat cells, especially around your middle, because that's the safest place to keep them away from your vital organs. That's why your belly feels different now. It's not just fat. It's congestion, and no amount of dieting or cardio will fix it, because the problem isn't what you're putting in, it's what's not getting out. Here's the good news. This isn't a life sentence. Your body isn't broken. It's waiting for you to give it the right signals so it can start cleaning house again. And the even better news? You don't need extreme measures to do it. You don't need to starve yourself or run marathons or buy expensive supplements. You just need to wake up the system that's been sleeping on the job. And the way you do that might surprise you, because it's the opposite of what most people are told to do. Most people think the answer is to push harder, more exercise, stricter diets, harsher discipline. But here's the truth. After 50, rest is just as important as movement. Gentle is just as powerful as intense. And pleasure, yes, pleasure is one of the most underrated tools for healing your metabolism. Let me explain. When your lymphatic system is sluggish, it's not just physical debris that's clogging it up. It's emotional debris too. Stress, worry, the quiet gnawing sense that your body isn't what it used to be. Those feelings don't just live in your mind. They live in your tissues. And until you give your body a chance to release them, it will keep holding on to the stress, to the toxins, and yes, to the fat. This is why so many people hit a wall with their health after 50. They're still operating on the old model. Push through, suffer now, reward later. But your body doesn't respond to suffering anymore. It responds to safety, to rhythm, to the kind of deep, restorative rest that lets your systems finally catch up. That's why the people who do lose belly fat after 50 aren't the ones grinding themselves into the ground. They're the ones who've learned to listen to their hunger, to their energy, to the quiet signals their body sends when it's ready to let go of what it's been holding. Let me give you an example. One of the simplest, most powerful things you can do to reactivate your lymphatic system is something you probably haven't done since you were a kid. Jump. Not on a trampoline, not in a high-impact aerobics class. Just gentle, rhythmic jumping, like you're skipping rope, but without the rope. 2 minutes a day. That's it. Why? Because your lymphatic system doesn't have a pump. It relies on movement, specifically the up and down motion of your body, to keep fluids flowing. When you jump, even lightly, you're giving your lymph a nudge. You're telling your body it's safe to let go now. And over time, that nudge turns into a floodgate. Toxins start draining, inflammation goes down, and that stubborn belly fat, it stops feeling like a permanent fixture and starts to soften. Not because you're burning it off, but because your body doesn't need to hold on to it anymore. But here's the catch, and this is where most people mess it up. They try this for a week, don't see instant results, and quit. They don't realize that after decades of congestion, their body needs time to trust the process. It's like trying to unclog a drain that's been blocked for years. You can't just pour 1 cup of drain
Drano and expect it to flow freely. You have to be patient, consistent, kind, and most of all, you have to stop fighting your body and start working with it. That means no more punishing workouts that leave you exhausted, no more diets that make you feel deprived, no more standing in front of the mirror, pinching your skin and willing it to disappear. Instead, small, joyful movements, foods that make you feel light, not just healthy. And perhaps most importantly, the radical idea that your body isn't your enemy. It's your partner, and it's been waiting a long time for you to start listening. Now, I want you to imagine something. Imagine waking up 3 months from now and realizing that your belly feels different. Not because the fat is gone overnight, but because it's softer. Because when you press on it, it doesn't feel like a solid wall anymore. Because your waistband isn't digging in by 2 p.m. Because you bent over to tie your shoes and it didn't feel like a struggle. Imagine looking in the mirror, and instead of seeing what's wrong, you notice what's changing. The way your skin looks a little brighter, the way your energy lasts a little longer, the way you don't dread getting out of bed in the morning anymore. That's not a fantasy. That's what happens when you stop fighting your body and start supporting it in the ways it actually needs. And here's the beautiful part. You don't have to do it alone. Your body wants to heal. It's been trying to tell you for years what it needs. It's just been speaking a language you weren't taught to understand. But now you're starting to hear it. And the more you listen, the more it will respond, not with resistance, but with relief. Because finally, after all this time, someone is paying attention. So here's what I want you to do today. Not tomorrow, not next Monday, today. Stand up right now and jump gently. Just a few times. Feel the way your feet leave the ground and land again. Notice how it feels in your belly, not as a judgment, but as information. Then take a deep breath all the way down into your abdomen. And as you exhale, imagine something shifting, just a little. That's all it takes to start. And if this resonates with you, if you've been fighting your belly fat for years and finally feel like you understand why, then do me a favor. Share this with someone else who needs to hear it. Not because I need the views, but because they deserve to know the truth too. Their body isn't broken. It's just been waiting for the right kind of help. And now, so are you.